Hello and welcome to your practice. Today, our posture is a lying spine twist, and I'll show you a few different variations that you can do. So we'll begin on our backs, and I would recommend that you have a folded blanket handy for this practice. You can roll down hands free or grip behind one leg as you roll down to the ground. And when you get there, gather your knees into your chest and just take a little rock from side to side to begin warming up the lower back. We're going to begin our lying spine twists on our sides. So slowly roll onto one side, just like this. And if you have a blanket or even a bolster, place it between your knees and your ankles, all the way between your lower legs. And then bring your hands together out in front of your body as if you were going to clap them. You can also put a soft block or a thin pillow under your cheek if you want a little extra support to keep the neck in line. And we're just going to follow our breath to open the top arm up and back, and then breathe out to bring it back to the starting point. Breathe in to open up, and breathe out to return. We'll do that 2 or 3 more times. Just following your own breath and letting your gaze follow your hand. Now, on the last time, let's open up and stay there. You can take your hand that hasn't been moving and place that on your top leg for a little extra support. You might need to shuffle your shoulders a little to help them root down and back. And you can look straight up at the ceiling above you, or turn your head to look at your outstretched arm. We'll stay here for one more breath. And then release the hands back to that outstretched position. And we'll slowly turn to the opposite side to do it all again. So bend your knees at a 90-degree angle, adjust your blanket, and bring your arms out right at shoulder height. Breathe in to open your top arm all the way up to the ground behind you, and breathe out to bring your hands back together. Breathe in to open up, and breathe out as you bring the palms together. And just keep moving right along with your breath. Maybe your shoulder doesn't come all the way to the ground, and it just comes to here. If that's the case, that's all right. Next time you open up, shuffle your shoulders down and back as much as you comfortably can. And you can place a hand right on top of your top leg for support. Either look up or turn your head to look back over your shoulder. When you've had enough, bring your arms back together and roll slowly onto your back. Position the blanket right on the left side of your body, and just make sure your hips are squared and your shoulders are back and down. We're going to go into a single leg version of a twist now. So draw your right knee into your chest and let your left leg stretch out long. Just hold here for a few breaths. When you feel ready to transition into your twist, let your right leg cross the midline and come all the way onto the blanket. If it doesn't feel like you can get to the blanket, stack a few blankets on top of each other or add a pillow or a bolster. Take your back hand, your right hand, and grab the bottom hip to slide it underneath the top so your hips are stacked. You might find that your right shoulder is really popping up, so press into your elbows to shuffle your shoulders back and down. Remember, if you need more support, use a higher prop. Again, you can place your left hand on top of your leg, and you can look straight up or back towards your outstretched right arm. When you've had enough, just gently come back to the center, using your feet to realign your hips and lift your prop up and over to the opposite side. And set it up so that it's ready for you when you enter the twist. Now we'll bring the left leg in and just take a few breaths here in this single leg stretch. When you feel ready, start to take your left leg over the midline and place it on that prop, sliding the bottom hip under the top. Use your elbows to press in and guide the shoulders back and down. Feel free to look up or back over your back shoulder. We'll stay here for one more breath. And then root your hands into the ground. Bend your knees and use your feet to reposition your hips. We'll take the feet about mat distance apart and gently swish the knees from side to side. And then when you're ready, roll gently onto one side and press your body all the way up to return to a seated position. So that concludes our breakdown of a lying spine twist. Feel free to continue your practice on from here, or thank yourself for showing up today. And I thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.